Here we go. All right, segment lengths in circles. Okay, what is CD and AB? What kind of segments are these? Chords. So if two chords intersect inside of the circle, like they do here, then the product, what does product mean?
The answer.
Times multiply.
Times multiply.
Oh,
Product,
right.
multiplication. The product of the lengths of the segments is equal to the product of the lengths of the other segment. Formula, right here. This times this equals this times this. Just realize I'm recording, you don't know what this is. So CE times ED equals BE times AE. At all times, if you have two chords, no matter what. So in this example, how would I set this up to find x?
12 times 9 equals x times 18.
That's how you would set it up to solve this problem. 12 times 9 is
108.
108.
X. Oh, that was got me.
X is 6, because that is 108, not 180. And it's just that simple. So when you have two chords inside, you just multiply the segment parts and set them equal to each other. This is how you find the length of the segment. Okay? This is lengths. We're not talking about angles, we're talking about segment lengths. So there's no 180, there's no 360, there's none of that. It's segment lengths. Okay? Now, if you have a secant and a tangent, does everybody see this? Couple parts you need to know. This part of the secant that's on the outside of the circle is called an external secant because it's on the outside of the circle. Okay? PR is still considered our secant because it goes through the circle.
So does that mean it's always external?
There's a part that won't be inside of the circle.
Okay.
And of course, a tangent, remember, it touches the circle at one point. So if you have two secants, like you do here, does everybody see that?
Yeah.
This is the formula to find any part of those two secants. In words, it is the external part of the secant times the whole secant equals the external part of the other secant times the whole secant.
What if there's a tangent line? So you can tell us.
Oh, that's the next slide.
Oh, wait, isn't there like a ratio?
Huh?
Isn't there like a ratio?
Okay, so let's look at this example.
11 times 21.
So I need the external secant, which is 11, times the whole secant, which is 21, equals the external times the whole thing, x plus 12. Does everybody see where x plus 12 came from? It's the whole secant. So what you guys, go ahead and solve this out, okay? 11 times 21 is? Equals 12x plus 144. Do not forget distributive property. Subtract 144 over and you get 87 equals 12x. Great hand, you got that right.
Oh, I messed up.
You good to distribute?
Yeah, I was doing 12x instead of 12x plus 12 instead of.
So you gotta be careful, make sure you distribute. So, if you have two secants, it's the external part times the whole secant equals the external part times the whole secant. If you have two chords, it's each piece of the chord times each other equals the other two pieces of the second chord times each other. And the last type, if you have a tangent and the secant. do is you take your tangent and you square it, and you set it equal to the external secant times the whole secant. Okay? That's what I'm saying. Like with circles, there's a lot of stuff to remember, especially with the types of angles you have, and now you have the segments. Okay? So for this example here, what's my tangent? It's 12. So I'm going to take 12 and I'm going to square it, and it's going to equal the external secant, which is times the entire secant, which is 8 plus x, or x plus 8. The whole secant. Okay, solve this out. 144 equals 8, 64 x, or 64 plus 8x. Subtract 64, what do you get? So you have 80 equals 8x, and so x equals 10. Because 8 times 8, 64.
Wait, I thought you were doing
Right, but you still set it up the same way because you have a tangent and a secant. So it's the tangent, which is 30 squared, equals the external secant, x, times the whole secant, which is x plus 24. So when I distribute x, you get x squared plus 24x. What's 30 squared? 900. Now when you have situations like this, you cannot combine x squared and x together. They're like apples and oranges. Okay, I feel like I've said this before in this class. Okay, so when you do this, you're either going to factor, or if you look down at the very bottom of your page, you see something known as the quadratic formula. This is another way to find x. And if you're looking like, oh my God, what's A, B, and C? It's simple. First thing you need to do, you need to make sure everything equals 0. So you have to move the 900 over by subtracting. And once you subtract, you now have your A, B, and C. A is the number in front of the x squared. B is the number in front of the x, and C is the constant at the end.
So it would still be the same if like x squared was at the very end.
Whatever's in front of the x squared is still the A. So what is A in this case?
0.
The number in front. Try again.
1.
Oh, 1. I know some people say 0. Let me share one with the same thing. What is the number in front of the x? 24. And C is?
Negative.
It's going to be negative 900. The sign will go with it. So basically you use the quadratic formula and plug in those values for A, B, and C. Okay? So, negative B. So negative 24 plus or minus the square root. But see, it's simple. All you got is a formula. Plug it in, and this is given to you. The formula is given to you. You just gotta be able to plug it in and type it into your calculator. 24 squared minus 4 times 1 times negative 900. All over 2 times 1.
Don't you have to do for
My calculator
plus?
got that smart.
Yeah, I'll
She
think
says it has 2 answers. Why not it has 2 answers?
You're right. Okay, but can we get to that point before we get there?
See, that's too much.
I don't see it.
Okay, then don't do it. Let's grade it for me. Okay?
I don't see it.
So you have negative 24 plus or minus the square root. You should have gotten 4176 underneath the square root. Who did not get that number? Okay? 4176. What's the square root of that?
64.621977.
Okay, just give me 64.
4.6.
Yeah, no,
Yes, I know.
Don't do that, guys.
This is is what you have so far. Now, if you're like, well, the calculator doesn't have a plus or minus, you're right, but the calculator does have a plus and it does have a minus, so you have to do them separately. You'll do 24 plus 64.6 divided by 2, and then you'll do negative 24 minus 64.6 divided by 2. So do that in your calculator.
Or I got a 50-50 shot. Okay, right.
What do you get when you do the first problem? Try again. So you did negative 24 plus 64.6
Divided by 2.
divided by 2,
8.3.
and you got 8.3.
Yeah.
That's all I got from positive.
Make sure that if you do decide to type this all in one line, you put parenthesis around the numerator. You should get 20.3. Now let's make sure we make the correction and let's do the next one. I didn't budge him.
Got it.
Do we get a number?
Negative
44.15.
I got 75.
Okay. So there are your values for x. 20.3
Oh, yeah.
and negative 44.3.
Positive.
Huh?
Positive.
What do you mean it's positive?
It's a plus.
It's a plus. I'm so confused.
So I, the 44.3, I thought it was
No, it's a negative.
Negative
Whatever
24
you talk
minus
about.
64. What's it?
It should be negative. Now my question is, there's x.
It can't be a negative, so it's gotta be 20.3.
So this is your only answer.
Yes.
Because x cannot be negative.
Yeah.
That's
You always gotta check. Whenever you have plus or minus, you always gotta check. That's how it was for one of those problems. I'm like, you just gotta check.
Oh, but what if you get,
Is
I didn't show you that.
We get 2 negative.
I would suggest you write that down.